Hey, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Wide Family Farm. And we're here with Tammy from Rebelcanners. And yeah, this is our show. Today we're going to be canning kidney beans live. And I'm had some technical problems with my other phone and the Wi-Fi and whatnot. So I had to use it from my actual other phone. So we'll see how this is going to go. And we may or may not have technical problems because of Wi-Fi issues. But, you know, what are you going to do? So, yeah. I'm going to go in the other room. I'm going to get on my other phone. Mods, if you can, if you have time, please watch the chat. I put on slow mode. I also put on subscribers only, so people can only enter the chat if you're subscribed, and when they're subscribed, they have to wait a minute before they can actually get on. I just didn't, since I'm not actually at my computer, I didn't want anybody getting in the chat unnoticed. So, but yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and go to my other camera, and I'll be right back.
So hi everyone, welcome. We're going to have fun today. There's a lovely view of Courtney's kitchen ceiling. I like the trim color, that's pretty. So, like Courtney said, we're going to be doing kidney beans today. She picked up a large bag of them, and although they store really well as dried, she wants a few that are canned up for quick additions to meals that she's planning. So this is perfect, and she can get them going. So here we go. She's getting her canner up there.
Sorry, I didn't have another place to actually put it. So, hold on one second. I got another stand here. Put my phone in so I can be free.
Hands free, hands free.
All right, can y'all see me? Lord, you can see the chat now, kind of. I really love StreamYard, and I'll be getting StreamYard here soon. This melon stuff is not so nice. So, all right, I've let my beans soak overnight, by the way. It's like allowing bread to rise. I'm like, holy crap! Like, I put a cloth over them, let them soak in water, and then I just left them. And then this morning I go to whip the cloth off, and it's like, whoa, they're like overflowing in the thing. I'm like, holy crap!
Yes.
I was expecting that, but not to that extent. Because
Yeah, they swell quite a bit.
Yeah.
Sometimes they can even double in size depending upon how dried out you start out with, which it's always kind of a hit or miss because there's a range that the elevator dries them out for the I don't want to say manufacturer, but the point of sale seller.
Yeah.
Because of course the farmer is the manufacturer.
Okay, you guys, so I have this wobbler, and I have two weights. This is a 15-pound wobbler. If you take it off, then this is 10 pounds.
Yeah.
And I actually need 11 pounds of pressure for my area. But 10 is okay. If you go to 10, it's fine.
It would be 11. Let me interject for a second. It would be 11 on your gauge, but 10 if you're using the weight. So 10 and 11 are the same. It's just 11 on the gauge, 10 on if you're using a weight.
Yes. And the one thing I learned, this was new to me. There was a difference between, I had one weight that was just 15 pounds, right? And by the way, you guys, I can't see the chat at all, so sorry. When I'm done here and I can feel comfortable leaving this canner for a second, I'll go back in the room and we'll answer any questions that you guys might have. But I learned the difference between this wobbler and the other one, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but the other one doesn't wobble. It is a weight, it's 15 pounds, and it doesn't wobble. This one wobbles, and it wobbles. You can, if you leave your canner, you can, like if it's going really, 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 really super fast, then you know that there's something going on. And then if it's running at just a steady rate, then you know that everything's good. So the wobbler is actually a mechanism that you can use to hear your canner if you have to do something else, if you have to go away for a second, or or you washing dishes and you need to hear what's going on. The wobbler is actually really kind of a cool little tool that you can have on your canner. Oh Lord. So I've been running around like a chicken with my head cut off. So I have water going, I have my beans ready, and I have to put them in their jars. Now this recipe that I looked at, I needed a 1-inch headspace, and you don't overpack the jars, right?
No. That could be bad.
Yeah.
That will be an awful mess. In this case, less is more because they're still going to swell a little bit as you cook them. You want to give them room in the jar to expand. If you don't, then you will be like those pictures on the internet of the exploding beans. So
I don't
always less is more.
What do I have? Okay. I have my headspace measurer. I have my rings. I have my lids. They've been washed. My jars are heated. I have my grabber thing, and I have hot water boiling on the stove. My jars are hot. Everything is good to go. And then I'm going to have Tammy guide me. I also have my vinegar ready to wipe off the jars. So
Good.
I'm going to grab my first set here. Now, you guys, everything is super hot. I mean, it's hot.
Yep. You want to start out with the same temperature. So if your jars are hot, you want your stuff to be hot. You want your canner water that you put in the canner to be hot. And that's for safety. You don't want to shock your glass. Glass doesn't do well with sudden temperature changes. She's just going to set them up here, assembly line process in rows, so that she can just move her funnel from one to the other and fill as she goes.
Sorry, they all tipped over. Give me a second.
This is a good time. This is a good time for me to point out that because I am a guest in her stream, I can't see anything anybody is posting except today it's letting me have little clippets. Right now, the only comment I can see says you. So it's not even the full comment, it's just the last word in somebody's comment. So I apologize, I can't talk to anybody in the live stream comments directly. Sorry. It's just Melon. It's weird today. I don't know who said I need to start canning, but I could see that whole comment and I agree. If you haven't started canning, the best time to start is right now. Be prepared. Get a few things on your pantry shelf. It'll save you so much money. It's frugal. Your nutrition, you know what's in your food. It is so much better for you.
Okay, I have a hot pot of water here. Sorry, the camera moved. There we go. I got to get my ladle and we are good to go. All right, so I'm going to not even use a funnel because I don't think it's necessary. I'm just going to use like a spoon. These are still hard, so they're still going to expand in the jar. And that kind of scares me a little bit. Should I be scared?
No, because you're not going to fill them too full. You know
Okay.
where the problem would lie, and so you're going to err on the side of making sure they're under 1 inch in headspace. So.
All right, I'm only going to fill these halfway because of buoyancy. And then I'm going to add my water. And see where this goes. I might need a funnel for the water part. I don't think so. We're good.
But you do want to get your beans in there first so that you don't want to have to open 2 jars to get enough beans for your recipe. So you're going to want to make sure you got the beans in there and then fill in all the cracks between them with the water.
I hope you guys can see everything. I'm checking my headspace. And I'm almost at 1 inch. I'm going to add just a smidget more water. Just a smidge to. How important is headspace, Tammy?
It is real important in this recipe. So you want to get your beans in, then fill in the cracks around the beans with water, and then make sure that you're under 1 inch.
So I should burp them, basically.
Yes, get all the air out because you're going to need that water to help the beans cook.
Okay.
So you want to make sure that
That's a good idea. I didn't even think about burping because
Yeah.
once you burp, you lose your water headspace.
Yeah. You might want to put just a little more beans in that one if you have room.
Okay.
Because you shorted yourself on the beans and you're going to want them for your recipe.
I hope I'm good there.
It looks good from here.
I'm a little over on my headspace.
So just take a little spoon and scoop a little bit out. Like I said, these will expand more as they cook more.
Hi.
Don't, Sawyer. Please don't.
Where's the keys?
Just a second. In the bag
In the bag.
where I put all our stuff inside.
I overfilled by a little bit here, guys. I think I'm good. So what I'm going to do is grab my paper towel.
Yep.
I got a little cut on my finger, so the vinegar just feels so good.
Ouch.
All right, so I'm going to wipe my rim.
And
The
you're
reason
just
why you do this, guys, because you want to make sure that your rim is the cleanest it possibly can be for your lid. Got my lid. There's nothing wrong with them. You know, I've been checking these because a lot of people said that they bought new ones and then like they were damaged in the package. So I just been checking to make sure they're not dented on the side.
Yeah, I found a whole pack in the store that was smashed in. But you could see the box and all had been smashed in.
Fingertip tight, guys. And I'll be right back. I'm going to fill my canner up.
Yep.
And I'm sorry, how many quarts do you fill up? Or is it pints? 3 pints or?
3 quarts if that's your Presto.
Okay.
3 quarts. And it's very, very similar with the All-American. I just don't know which size your All-American is. But a good, if you see, there's one knuckle, your middle knuckle here on your finger. On your Presto, your water should always be to that knuckle. So when you fill it up, you put your finger in, it should be to this knuckle right here. That's a easy way to check. And of course, she has her rack in the bottom already. You don't see that because the canner's all set up over there, but she's already put the rack in. She's putting her water in. And it's hot water because she used hot water and hot jars. So she's using the same temperature water.
Is
They're in that bag.
damn key.
Do not swear on her. If you can't find, I don't care. Go away from. I am sorry. My son is trying to find something and he won't. And I unmute and it keeps unmuting you as soon as I try to talk. It unmutes. So I apologize if you heard my son say any bad words.
That's hot. Hot, hot, hot. And I'm not talking about Toyota. All right, so I got that on there. I'm gonna go ahead. I started the water on my canner already, so it is hot. I did use hot tap water. I don't have a whole lot of space in my kitchen, so let's pray that these don't break, right? There we go. I'm gonna move on to the next, y'all. I'm doing this. My son's crying a little bit. I'm doing this because I know you can use dried kidney beans in the jars, guys. And I actually have dried kidney beans in jars that I've sucked the air out of. But if you're going to make chili, or say for instance, I know the Bizards, they were like, yeah, we can our beans because when they don't have any electricity, or they're in the middle of a hurricane or something, they don't have time to soak their beans before they cook a meal. And so this is a smart way of doing this because, if a lot of people don't have time to wait on the beans, to soak. If you're hungry, you're hungry. So.
And you may not have clean water in a situation like that.
Yeah. Exactly. So you just don't know the situation. So it's better to just have your beans on hand.
Yeah. And it's convenient. If I want chili, I don't usually think to soak my beans the night before. I wake up and it's cold outside. I want chili that day. So this is handy to have a few in the pantry ready to go.
Exactly. Fill this up a little bit. And I think I overfilled it again. With the beans, it's hard to judge.
Give it a little shake and let them settle down. Just a little.
I'm burping.
Mm-hmm.
I'll add a little bit more water. That's way too much. I can already tell that. It's a little nerve-wracking.
What is green water? But I agree, little brown sugar in there would be very good.
Mm.
They'd taste more like baked beans that way.
I didn't even think about that.
I just caught part of a thing in the chat. I can see like some things as they come through, and then it's just weird. So I'm catching little bits and pieces of the chat.
I think we're good.
Yep.
I'm gonna wipe. Now I set up this extra table in my kitchen specifically for canning this year because, yeah, I don't have enough space in my kitchen. My kitchen is big, but it's not that big. So I set up another table just so I can form an assembly line a lot better.
I actually built my own canning table this summer, or well, early this spring, with a butcher block, so that
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yes,
Another one, guys.
Nice. Yeah, I put it on wheels that lock, so I can move it around my kitchen and then lock the wheels, and so it doesn't move when I am moving heavy stuff to it. But I can roll it out of my way when I'm not using it.
Yeah. Oops, dropping beans everywhere. Probably should have used my funnel.
The nice thing about the funnel too is you can see that the bottom of your funnel is usually close to your 1 inch mark.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I didn't think about that.
So I didn't think about it till you put it in there, and I'm like, oh yeah, I always kind of use the bottom of my funnel as a guide for my first test of making sure I don't fill it up too full.
Good idea. That's a really good idea. Yeah, I'm going to use that for the water too.
It's one of those things you just do automatically. After so many years, you don't think about it till you're trying to explain it to somebody else.
Yeah. I'm going to put these. Now, you don't have to have one of these measurers, but I highly suggest if you're new to canning to get one because it does come in handy. You can find them on Amazon. However, I haven't been able to find these in the store. I've been looking to see, but you can find them on Amazon in their canning kit. They have like kits with the funnel and everything, but I haven't been able to find them in the store.
Walmart does sell the kit with the funnel, the measurer, and the jar lifter, but it's hit or miss if they're in stock, just like everything else from Ball with Walmart.
Yeah. Okay, wipe my rim. There's really nothing that touched my rim. I guess this would be really, really super important if you had something super sloppy too. This isn't really all that sloppy.
You're not working with anything that is greasy, and so the vinegar is real important when you're doing canning something that might be greasy.
Yeah. There we go.
Beautiful. Good morning, Gil. Thanks for joining us. Everybody's saying hi to you, so you must have joined the
hey
chat.
guys, I'm sorry. I can't see the chat. Thank you for coming in and thanks for joining us. When I'm done here and I feel comfortable, I have a giveaway. So I'm just letting you guys know.
And hi, Hedgehog. If I see him, Courtney, I'll say hi. If I don't say hi to you, please don't be offended in the chat. Like I said earlier, I can't see everything. I'm just seeing what Melon wants me to see, which is pieces of what you say, not the whole comment.
Yeah, and that's Melon for you.
I can't even see who's making the comment, just what they're saying. So whoever just said hi to us, hi back, but we can't see who's saying hi. And she's just repeating until she has a canner load. Courtney, is this canner, does it take 7 or 9?
I'm not sure.
We'll find out
Oh,
when you get there.
yeah, I'll bring the camera over.
I have some that take 7 jars and I have some that take 9. So
This is the biggest Presto.
then it probably takes 9.
Yeah, I don't think I have 9 jars. We'll see. I have way more kidney beans. I have to wash more jars.
I hear Fred in the background. He sounds happy now.
Yeah, he's going, what? What? Goofball. There's another one.
Still beautiful. There is nothing like, I guess it's just me, but I get a huge pleasure out of just when I sit at my shelves and just look at all the pretty colors. I like to do different things so I can see all the different things on my shelves and how
Yeah.
pretty they all look.
It's exciting. I just noticed the other day when I was down in my cellar, I noticed, relax, Bubba. I just noticed the other day that my jars and everything, they just looked so awesome. Like I was so proud of myself. Everything I harvested and everything like that is on the shelf, and just like I worked so hard for that, you know?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna use this again. And I'm gonna burp them.
And like you said, if you don't have the manufacturer's device, you can use the end of a butter knife. You can use a chopstick to burp. You can get creative with it. Oh,
I think I'm at 1 inch.
mosquitoes are getting me today.
Oh, that sucks. During the day here, they're awful.
Well, I think ours have kindly calmed down a little bit, but I'm sitting here in the shade because the sun was really bright.
Oh. Another one? Now, for those of you that just came in, I soaked these beans overnight. So they're not hard. I soaked these overnight. They're hard, but they're plump.
Yeah. We are showing you the USDA approved method today. So the beans were pre-soaked. Oh, Courtney, did you want to add any salt?
It's not necessary because when I do chilies and stuff, because I'm not going to be eating these by themselves.
Okay.
I don't think it's all that necessary. Do you?
No. And that's why I just thought of a thing to say. If these are fresh beans that you just purchased, but if these were beans that had been in your food storage pantry for a long time, they'd be even harder. If you put salt in with them, they will not soften up.
Oh.
So if you're using really old beans, do not add the salt. Whatever you do, do not add the salt or they will never soften up and you'll be having some of the toughest beans you've ever had to grind up to eat.
Yeah, that's gross.
Yeah.
Fingertip type, guys. There's another one.
Beautiful.
Okay.
No, the salt in this recipe is only added for flavor. So it is not necessary to put it in. And if you're on a low salt diet, you're not going to want to have it anyway.
Okay, so I'm sweating. This is what I have going on, and I only have room for one more jar. I could double stack it if I wanted to, but I don't have the means to do that. Sorry, my finger's over the camera. But should I put another jar in there?
Yes. Yes. You should always fill your canner for the premium results. You want to run your canner load full. If for some reason you didn't have enough beans to run a full canner, you would want to put like a can of water in there, a jar of water.
So I'm going to put a jar of water like in the center hole.
Okay.
Yep. Because that's really all that's left. Yay!
And I see that Julie at Heaven's Essentials, someone's saying hi to her, so she must have just joined us. Welcome, Julie. I can't see everything in the chat. We're just canning beans here with Courtney, and she's putting the finishing touches on her canner load here. We're doing it live, so.
Yay! And give me 1 second. I'm going to have to put this down just for a minute. There we go. It's okay, Freddie. There's my lid. And there's my ring. Putting it in the middle.
Very good.
Okay, so now, let's see. That's 6. I put in 6 jars. There's actually 7 in there, but there's a dud. So I'm going to go ahead and put my top on my canner. And hold on 1 second.
So with the Presto, you go ahead and you line it up. There's little arrows on the side, and you want to line those arrows up. And it's a turning mechanism that locks that lid on the canner. And that's just one of the safety measures with the Presto that she's using today.
Oops, let me do it this way. Yeah, there's little arrows like on the side that will tell you what is open and what is closed. I can get it. on now. There it is. Come on now. I think everything is right. What am I doing wrong? You know what I'm doing wrong, Tammy?
No, they just sometimes do that. You just got to kind of get them out of alignment where it'll sit down, and then bring it back to the till the handles are lined up.
I feel like that's no, it's not.
You'll feel when it sits down, it goes down in. You have to kind of take it back off, and then.
My sealant, my gasket's in there, right? And everything?
Just kind of line it up. You'll have to turn it till it sits down in, and then bring it back to where the arrows line up. Yeah.
I don't know why I'm having such a hard time the other
Take
day.
your right hand with the lid above the canner and move it away from your body. Put it down on the canner, and then just turn it till it sits down, and then you'll feel it come back into closed.
Okay.
No, it happens to me when I'm trying to do the canner at home too. It happens at home. I've got one that doesn't like to line up very well.
Yeah, like what the hell?
Yeah.
And all right, I'm on like. It's not lining up.
It hasn't set down in yet.
Mm-mm.
That's the problem. You got to get it where it goes where it's away from you, sits down in, and then you pull the lid towards you to line it up.
Will we be canning beans today? That is
yes, you're just going to have to fiddle with it.
See, it's lining up on the one side, just not the other.
Yeah, it's like it's not oops. I kicked that. It's like it's not seating down on the canner all the way on both sides before you turn it.
Let me see. Yeah, that gasket is in there, right? That's what I was worried about, because I took the gasket out when I was wiping the...
Yeah.
This is the second time I've used this. The first time it lined up perfect.
And that is one advantage to the All-American, is you don't have to seat it down. It just sits on top of each other and then screws down.
Did I? No. I thought I got it.
Are you getting the arrows lined up when you put it on?
Yeah.
Huh.
This is nuts. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus.
You felt it. You see, when it went in, you felt that it went right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Whew. It's hot in here, folks.
Welcome, Warren Lewis. We're just watching poor Courtney struggle with that lid for a minute.
All right, I'm just turning up the heat a little bit. You don't want to crank it, guys. Please do not crank the heat. You want to be in control as much as possible. If you crank the heat, then you have to turn it back down, and you may mess around with the gauge, and you might be constantly going back and forth. And I know that with my stove, I was worried about that in the beginning because my stove, it has a tendency to overboil. Like it'll just go crazy. And I was so worried about that with my stove. But
And you're going to find the sweet spot on your stove is somewhere between 4 and 7 in a medium range, depending on how your dial reads.
now I'm just waiting.
Yep.
All right, guys, I'm going to go back to the computer real quick.
Yes, we're canning the magical fruit. Beans, the magical fruit.
So sorry about that, guys. Woo! It's hot. Well, I don't have an air conditioning either, so that doesn't help, but
Oh.
um
And this is a great thing to can in the winter.
Hey Mojo, thank you for coming in. I just wanted to say hi to a few people first because I just feel like I was ignoring the chat and I wasn't. Let's see. Fishes, thank you for being here. Kitchen. Hedgehog Yozi, thank you so much. Big Chap, what's up? Mojo, thank you so much for being here. CB, of course. Gardner Josh, thank you so much. I have like my entire crew here. Thank you so much. Homestead Aquarius, thank you so much for being here. Of course, Uncle Al. I'm your biggest fan, Uncle Al. And who else? Blands, thank you so much for being here, you guys. That's so great of you. And it looks like Howie stepped in. Howie, thank you so much. Warren Lewis, he's in the house. Gil, thank you so much, guys. Now she can see. Great timing. Hey, Yogi, thank you for being here, guys. So sorry. Whew. I'm hot, but we're getting this done. I have a lot more beans to go through. And I have a feeling I'm going to be doing this like 3 times a day because I can only fit so many jars on my canner. I do have, I think, another one of those little shelf things.
The rack.
Your rack. So I think maybe I can do more at a time. I've never done that many at a time, but we'll see. I think I can probably do it.
You can, as long as you can get your lid back on, you can double stack.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, guys. The other, my phone actually has Wi-Fi, so it's not a steady connection. No, you can't use an Instapot. You can use, now Thorhaven over at Thorhaven Farm has been using that Instapot. It's like the Max or something. It's fancy. It's really super fancy, and it does pressure can, and they can do like 4 pints at a time, and they have been using it. And I don't know. What do you think?
I have the Power Pressure XL, and that is approved to do 4 pints at a time.
There you go. So yes, you can. Hey, Best Life, thanks for coming in. I wouldn't advise using the Duo or just a regular Instapot. Make sure that the directions actually say that it's for canning because you don't want to have a disaster on your hands. Not with an electric pressure cooker. Yeah, did you guys have any questions for us as we're doing this? I'm watching my canner. It's on a medium heat, and you're supposed to let it go and then until that thing pops up. Now that thing that pops up on your canner on a Presto, that is the safety mechanism. That safety mechanism keeps you safe. So if you panic and try to pull the lid off, you won't be able to do it. It holds that lid on there. And then once that thing pops up, you let it steam out that hole for 10 minutes, and then you put the wobbler on. And then at that point, you watch your gauge, make sure that it goes up to the pounds of pressure that you need it to go to. That's what I have learned. Did I learn correctly, Tammy?
Yes. So far, so good. That all sounded good.
Oh, this is fun, guys. It really is. It's so cool to make. It's even more like I didn't grow these beans. However, I did grow kidney beans this year. They're just not dried out yet. But it's so cool to actually do this with your own food. And I do have a video out there of me canning pumpkin, and I grew those pumpkins myself and I canned them myself. So that makes it even more special when you can do it yourself and you know that the pumpkins were grown organically, you know what you put in your soil, stuff like that. So it means a lot more to me to have that. However, you can can pretty much anything from the grocery store. So if you don't have a garden and you're into canning, even says in some of the books, go when the things are on sale, and buy a bunch of it and then can it. I mean, no one can stop you guys.
I didn't grow a garden this year, but I did go to the farmer's market and I bought a bushel of green beans that I'm turning into dilly beans this weekend over the long weekend. So, you don't have to have a garden. You just have to have the desire to know what's in your own food.
Yep, or local farms. That's right. And this year, I grow a ton of peppers, but I don't grow as enough as I need to. That I use throughout the year. So I have a huge picking patch down the street from my house, and I go there and I pick peppers every freaking year. And that place, I was so happy to see that they actually sell the supermarkets around here. Acme is one of them. And I was happy to see that they actually had a commercial with the guy that owns the place on the commercial. And I was like, oh my God, I'm like, that's where we go and pick our peppers. I'm like, I love that place. I just absolutely love that place. So you can go to picking patches. You can go, anywhere and get the stuff that you need and can it, freeze it, do what you need to preserve it. How long does the stuff last, Tammy, in the jars?
The official word is that the lid is good for 18 months. The unofficially, as long as that seal is intact and there is no rust, the food in your jar is still safe to eat. It may not have the same vitamin content because, as we know, vitamins and nutrients break down over time. So you're going to want to keep your stuff fresh and rotate it. Use your oldest first, rotate it, use it up before you make a whole bunch more.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Yuzi. I'm glad that she told me that. I wasn't going to put salt in them anyway. I had no desire to put salt in it. But I'm glad she told me that, because then if you're canning for chili or whatever, the beans would be gross.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like mushy beans, but I don't like beans that are crunchy. I don't want them to crunch when I try to eat them either.
That's disgusting.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to have a nice bowl of chili.
But don't throw away those old beans, because you can actually take the old beans that are too hard to soften back up because they're, maybe you believe that you could keep them for 25 years in your pantry, because you can. They just aren't going to be very edible after 25 years. But maybe you have a 5-gallon pail you sealed in Mylar 25 years ago. Don't throw them out. You can grind them and make them into flour that you can use in any recipe up to 1/3 of the volume of flour that it calls for. So you can still use them. They're just not going to be good for chili.
Hey, Jessica Hicks. What's up, girl? Good to see you. You can hear my son, even though I put it on mute. Interesting. Why am I not canning? I am so going to get into canning. There you go. Grilling and chilling. I'm so glad that we influenced you. Now, you guys, it's something that you have to have a passion for. I have an absolute passion for this, because if I didn't have a passion for it, I probably would have not done it. But I have a passion for it because I've grown my own food. I just want to do this, you know. It is something you have to have a passion for, because, you know, you can grow impatient very easily with waiting for it to come up to pressure, stuff like that. So, you know, I highly suggest canning your own food. It's a lot of fun. But if you don't like to cook and you don't like to do that kind of stuff, it might not be something for you. But there is Facebook pages with about 90,000 people on it that Tammy has, the Rebelcanners, and all those people are just full of passion, and they just love to can. And it's so much fun, guys. It really is. It's so much fun.
I just love knowing what's in my food. I have developed, well, I always have canned, but I've developed allergies. So now I can't eat store canned food like I used to without reading the label twice to see if something in there is going to kill me, literally.
Aww.
And so it's easier for me just to can my own food. I know what's in it. I can grab it off my shelf. I don't have to worry. It's good. So.
All right. Are you guys ready for this giveaway? Huh? You ready out there? All right. Well, let me get my book. Okay. Here, I have this. It's Preserving Food, the Beginner's Guide to Preserving Food. I'm going to give this away. And I have just one question, and you'll have to answer it. And you have to put it in the chat. And the person who gets it correct wins this book. Okay? This is a really awesome book. It has pictures, which I love pictures. Show me a picture, please, so I don't have to read. I absolutely love this. So, unfortunately, Yosi, I love you, but I cannot ship this to Israel. If you were in the United States, you can participate. I love you, Yosi. One day I will send you something amazing. I promise. All right. So let's do this. First question is, what was the headspace on the beans? Do you guys remember? See if y'all paying attention.
Somebody got it.
Holy smokes.
Somebody's answering. I got some answers.
All right, hold on. Let me see the chat here. Who answered first? Aw, it was Heaven's Essentials, Julie. I already have your address because I'm sending you stuff, Julie. So I will go ahead and send this book out next week for you. Thank you so much, Heaven's Essentials. You just won this Beginner's Guide to Preserving Food. Now, I want to see some stuff on your channel, Julie. I know you don't have anything on there. Let's see some canning stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would love to see some canning stuff on your channel.
We love you, Julie. Thank you so much for participating. Now, the only reason why I sat in here is one, to cool down, and two, to do this giveaway. So I'm going to go back out there. I'm going to check my canner, take a look. Now, I highly suggest never leaving your canner.
We're watching it, though. I'm watching it.
What? Can't hear you. What? What? I'm sorry, guys. This was giveaway week. I was doing a ton of giveaways. I have loads of stuff that I gave away this week. So hopefully you had plenty of opportunities to win. And I love you guys. That's why I did it. Okay. I'm going to go into the other room and take a look at my canner.
And I am sorry I missed your live on Wednesday. I was giving a live talk in person to our community garden at the kids club at our community garden. So I was very disappointed that I missed your live.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Well, it's okay, Tammy. I mean, we had a blast. Ooh, this thing is leaking. It does that. It spittles out a little bit of water through that hole until it pops up. But it's okay, Tammy. Maybe next year you can be more involved. I plan on, and I have some ideas. Maybe we'll do a seed swap in the spring. So,
That'll be fun.
Yeah, and I think the Big Blue House Homestead wanted to participate in that as well and do a seed giveaway. So we might be doing that. So, and I'm still waiting. It's just taking a second for it to, and it did this before, and it spittled out a little bit of water. But as soon as this thing pops and that thing steams for 10 minutes, then you could put the wobbler on it and just cover it. That's the part that I'm going to be scared at the most because my husband did it last time. I was like, can you put the wobbler on? I'm a little scared because it was steaming. It was like, you know, and I'm like, ah! But
use your oven mitt.
Yeah, I'm scared to do it even in my Instapot. I use the spoon, but I can't use the spoon with this. This is so exciting, guys. Thank you all so much for
I
watching.
see something about a wood stove, and yes, you can on a wood stove. You just have to make sure that you have a good bed of coals so you have some good even heat, and you may have to move it off and back on if there's a problem. But
Yay! Now, you guys, if you can't find lids right now, which most people can't, you can buy a whole case. You can never have too many jars, okay?
No.
So you can go to Walmart and buy a whole case of these jars, and they already have lids on them if you can't find lids right now. And you can, like I said, it's a little more pricey, but you at least have lids, and you can never have too many jars if you're really, really into canning. I know me, I always worry. I'm like, will I have enough jars? So.
yeah, yes, I do have a channel. That's Rebelcanners. Somebody was asking in the chat, and there is no such thing as too many jars. I won't tell you how many I have. I've actually been giving them away because of my move, so I have quite a few less than what I did. But you know, as I've downsized with the kids moving away, I've went from more pints to quarts and kind of rearranged. But yeah, you can't have too many jars. I use them to keep my spices in. I use them to store my dry goods in. You'll use them.
It's boiling in there. I can hear it. Just waiting for the pressure to build up so that top pops.
Yep.
Just let the steam roll.
Yep. And then we just have to time for 10 minutes. I think this is the hardest part, is the time you're waiting for it to be up and ready.
Yeah, I'm missing part of the chat too. That kind of sucks.
Yeah, it's hard. I can see things, but they don't make sense because they're fragmented.
Let me see if I can get it on my other phone.
But...
Oh, it popped!
Yay! Okay, start the 10-minute timer. And if I were at home and not doing a live, this would be the time where I'd start doing my kitchen cleanup, so that when I'm actually done canning, it's actually not such a big mess.
Yeah. No, Cameron is in South Africa, guys. I still did not forget the package I promised you, Wide Family Farm. Oh, okay, Yosi, you're fine. I get it. We love you. Thank you so much. You're such a sweetheart. Thanks, Gardner Josh. I can see the chat now on my other phone, the phone that wouldn't actually show any video. So we're good. Now, the top in a Presto, this little thing, it pops. That's your safety. That keeps you from panicking and trying to pull the lid off because you did something or oops, I forgot a jar or whatever. This is your safety. You have to let the steam go through that for 10 minutes. And then once you do that, I put it on timer. We have 8 minutes left. Then you put your wobbler on. I highly suggest getting a wobbler, but if you don't have one, you can put your weight on top. You just have to really watch when you have the other weight. The wobbler, basically, you listen to it, and you'll know just by listening how fast things are going, if your pressure's high, or what's going on. You'll be able to listen with that wobbler. Jiggler, wobbler,
Yeah.
weight.
I call it a jiggler here in this part of the Midwest too. It's the same thing. It's just a nickname for it.
Yeah, Hedgehog, all Prestos do that. Oh my God, Gardner Josh, you're so nice. Thank you so much for doing that. Hello, Lady Casca. Thanks for coming in. But yeah, so now I'm just waiting. I got 7 more minutes, and I'm gonna do what Tammy said, and I'm gonna put my glove on.
It'll just protect your hand from the steam.
Yeah, I'm a wimp when it comes to like getting burnt or. I really commend people that can cook on an open fire like you, Tammy. Like that I'd be so scared.
I love cooking on an open fire, but I do have my welder's gloves when I do that.
Yeah. Man, it's hot in here. I need a fan. Whoo, buddy.
Yeah, you should have a fan in the window pulling the heat out of your house.
Yeah. Got my glove just in case. Oh, my son is flipping. That's okay. He'll be okay.
And somebody has started a weed chipper down the street from where I'm sitting. So that's so much fun.
Oh, that's great. We had so much fun last night. Gil went live on his channel on the Gray Man Prepping. And it was just like an open chat. Oh my God. We were laughing so hard. We had such a good time. It was great.
I'm sad. I don't have internet out at the property, so I miss all these late night lives. After I go home, I don't have any internet.
Hopefully, maybe you can get like a satellite or a hotspot or something eventually so you can do that.
I'm hoping to get a Wii Boost after I get my solar installed so I have the electric to run it. If you don't have electric to run it, it's kind of pointless to try to boost it.
Yeah.
Ready?
Woo. 5 more minutes, y'all. And watch the pressure begin. Good morning, Bob. Dude, that's another person we were talking to. It was like 2:30 in the morning. It was me, Bob, Carol, and Viper. And we were on Gil's chat. Gil left his chat, and we were still on StreamYard afterwards. And then we switched over. Viper gave us his StreamYard, so just in case one of us get kicked, we could get back on. So we go over to Viper's StreamYard, but Gil must have found out, like, because Viper put his StreamYard on the private chat. So Gil went over and found out. Gil came over on Viper's chat with one of his Halloween get-ups. It scared the crap out of me. And Viper's like, "Who's this guy?" And he pops up on the screen, scared the crap out of me. It was so great, though. It was great. We had such a good time. Three more minutes, guys, and we're gonna put the wobbler on. Now it's different for everybody as far as the weight and the pressures, or the weight pressure goes. So make sure you research what the pressure is for your area. I know ours is 11. It's like 11 pounds, but it's okay if we go to 10. But it's 11 pounds.
And it depends on the altitude. So if you're in the mountains or like Colorado, it's going to be 15. And if you're in Florida, you might actually be just at 5. And this is the hardest part, the weight. And another thing, Courtney did all kidney beans here, but beans are the same time. So she could have done 7 different kinds of beans, 1 in each jar, and had those on her shelf if she wanted to just do 1 load to have 1 can ready. She could have had different kinds of beans. You don't have to do all of one kind of food. I think we get very obsessed with, I've got to do a load of this kind of food, where you can, if the time is the same, you can do different things in the same can or load.
The time for pints is 55 minutes? Or is it 75? I can't remember now.
It's 75.
75. Okay.
75.
2 more minutes and we're putting it on.
Yep. Tick tock, tick tock. I actually have 3 different kinds of jigglers, and I love each and every one of them. I love my jigglers too. I don't know who said that in the chat that they love their wobbler, but I love my jigglers. "45 more seconds by my timer."
Woohoo! Pretty close. My stove timer says a minute and 1 second. We're almost there, guys. Almost there.
Everybody put in the chat, if you can something, put in the chat what it is you can. I'm interested to see. I won't be able to see who posts it, but I might be able to see what you post.
That's what the jiggler looks like, Cameron. It's just a weight. It's the weight that goes that holds basically your steam in there.
Oh, somebody can. Gee, nice. Somebody hasn't canned yet. That's okay. We're going to get you there. We'll get you canning.
Mojo, we'll get you canning, honey. We love you.
Yep. I'm happy to talk you through it.
This is the scabby pot. No, it's not scary. It's just scary for me because I'm a wimp. All right, here it goes.
You can hear the steam hiss a little bit.
Yay!
Okay, now set it for 75 minutes. And you can hear it, you'll start to hear it jiggle or wobble.
75 minutes would be an hour and 10 minutes, right?
Hour 15.
15. Oops. There we go. So I got it on. I'm going to move this a little bit closer so you guys can see the wobbler and everything. Actually, this would probably be better. No, you can't see it. Give me a second. I'm going to move this way. Can you see the wobbler on there now?
Yes.
And there we go. Now, ghee, pressure canning ghee, isn't it already shelf stable? Ghee?
Yes, ghee is shelf stable. But you can, if you're a rebel, you can seal it. Like it comes sealed in the grocery store. Sorry about that car going by. It comes sealed in the grocery stores, and then it's shelf stable after you open it. So sometimes you do want to keep it sealed. So
Now, you guys, I thought this was super scary. I'm not going to lie. I was terrified. I've had this pressure canner. Michelle over at the Heathstead sent this to me all the way from Oklahoma.
oh wow.
And I absolutely love her. By the way, I'm going to have her on my show for my 1-year anniversary from having her on next Wednesday. But I was terrified. I'm terrified of using this thing, or I probably would have used it. Then I canned my pumpkin with my husband, and I'm like, why the heck was I so freaking scared? Like, it's nothing. It's nothing, guys. It's nothing. And don't get scared. Um, the only thing that's scary to me is putting that wobbler on because I'm afraid of getting burned. But I mean, other than that, there's really nothing to be scared about. Just follow the directions at first in your ball blue book, your USDA stuff, because that's going to teach you how to can. You're not ready to be a rebel yet.
No, no. And even
We won't be doing any rebel stuff on here. I am not ready for that.
Mm-hmm.
We're not rebels. Well, Tammy's 100% rebel, but I'm not a rebel yet.
But there are rules I don't break.
Yeah.
So even rebels have to know the rules and have to know the ones you cannot break. So there are things I won't do.
It's 75 minutes, Hedgehog. Yeah, the ghee, things like ghee, butter, I think even milk. Those are all rebel canner things that the rebels do. Um, you know, it's if you know what you're doing, that's one. If you do not follow it correctly, guys. So that's why I say you're not ready to be a rebel yet. Um, especially your first thing you can.
Yes.
That's, you want to know what you're doing. You want to know the ins and outs first before you start experimenting on your own level.
And you want to be comfortable with your canner. If you're not comfortable with your canner, you're not ready to go outside the book.
Okay, guys, I'm at 5 pounds of pressure. And the wobbler hasn't wobbled or anything, but it will. Lady Casca wants to know, is that because it's dairy and fat? Yeah, because things like bacon, things that are super fatty are really hard to can. Right, Tammy?
Yes. Yeah. And they go rancid, and you have to really handle them carefully.
By the way, bacon is not an approved canning thing. So be careful. Be careful with that, guys.
Yeah. Sorry about the kids in the background.
It's okay. My kid was crying just a few seconds ago. So, I'll be right back though, because I'm gonna give him a juice box.
Okay. Oh, yeah. As a beginner canner, really stay with recipes that you can find in the Ball Blue book. I'm going to recommend that book first. Go out, invest in one, really stick to the rules there, follow the guidelines, follow the steps, really learn your canner and how to use it, get very comfortable with it, and know what the rules are. Don't step outside of the rules until you really know what the rules are and why they're in place. And once you know that, then you can step outside a little bit. But you don't want to do that unless you're comfortable. So get comfortable first.
Yeah. So your PSI is 10 pounds. Yeah. Yep. Mine's 11. I think that was the hardest part for me, is figuring out my pounds, because all the books say something like, I think all the books say 10 pounds, but that's not the case with everybody. I'm almost at the 10 mark. When I'm at the 10 mark, then I'm going to watch my heat. Just make sure I stay at the 10-pound mark, 10, 11-pound mark. And when it gets in that sweet spot, it'll just stay there.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. We all have
Somebody's
kids.
toy was playing music. Somebody's toy was playing music. I could hear it. I wanted to make sure it got away from, so I didn't accidentally get in the background.
Yeah, you want to try your county's extension office if you're not sure about your gauges, and stuff like that. And I think Tammy said last time in our beginner series, in the first 2 lives that we did, that you can probably go to your local hardware. It has to be like a local, like an Ace Hardware or something like that, and they will actually test your gauges and stuff for you at those locations.
Hardware stores and the extension office, USDA extension office, will do that, and usually it's free or a very minimal charge.
I'm almost at 11 pounds of pressure.
All right, and we should start the timer when it gets up to pressure. I didn't realize you had one that had a gauge. So
Yeah.
reset the timer for our time when we get to the right pressure on your gauge.
Cool. I wondered about that.
I'm sorry. I thought you had just the weighted one.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I thought you had one that was just the weight, not one with the gauge. So, what I was going to say something about it being. I realized it wasn't when you said it wasn't jiggling. That we should have started the timer on the weighted one when it starts to jiggle, or in this case, when you see on your gauge that it's at the correct pounds of pressure. So we started that way too early. Oops.
That's okay. I'm actually at 10 or 11 pounds now, so I'm going to go ahead and start it again. An hour and 15 minutes, guys.
Yep.
And my wobbler, I can hear it. It's going to start to shake. If it goes up, then if it goes up prior to 11 pounds, I'm going to turn down my heat a little bit, but I'm 99% sure I'm already in my sweet spot. So,
yep.
You don't want to do huge increments of heat because that can really mess things up in there for you. So,
what will happen is your jars will have siphoning, which means you'll lose liquid out of your jars and volume out of the jar, and that's not good. The more oxygen in the jar means the faster things will spoil or discolor or lose flavor. So you really want to keep that headspace, and you want to not have extra space in there for oxygen.
You guys see the wobbler? See how it's wobbling? Do not crank with the heat because you don't want it to siphon. I've seen some pretty nasty things once you open that canner. If you have hard water like I do, I should have put vinegar in my water, but I didn't do it this time. But I have hard water, so it helps to put the vinegar in there.
Yes. I should have reminded you. I usually put a splash in with my water. And it should be rocking, like you hear that. It's like a hiss, 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 back and forth. It shouldn't be too fast. It shouldn't be doing like this. It shouldn't sound like you're about to step on the rattlesnake. That's how I describe it. It should just sound like there's a rattlesnake nearby warning you, and it's just slowly rocking back and forth, hissing. Not like you're about to get bit because your foot's on it.
I don't know, but they should. That's hilarious. Dancing girl wobblers for the men out there that like to can. That'd be freaking hilarious. A little Hawaiian chick.
Like the little dog from the dashboard.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious. Hula dancer wobblers, yeah.
I think we're missing out on a big marketing ploy, Courtney. You should have saved that idea and copyrighted it and patented it.
You can, Lady Gaga, wow, Lady Casca, you can actually get, this one's a 15-pound wobbler, and you can take the weights off. So this one by far to me is the best one because you can take the weights off. And I think some things require 15 pounds of pressure no matter what. There are certain things. It doesn't matter, I think, with your what is it called? But I think some recipes call for 15 pounds of pressure no matter what. So sometimes you need the 15 pound. But for the most part,
there are also a couple things I do that are at 5. So like USD approved things, like sometimes you do juices, you just do them at 5, even though other things you have to do at 10. And so you need a weight or a set of weights that are 5, 10, and 15. Everybody should have a set that's 5, 10, and 15.
This is so awesome. I can't believe I'm actually doing it. This is my first time doing it by myself. So,
well,
without my husband.
Look, you got this whole live stream holding your hand. You're not by yourself, Courtney. You've got all of us.
And I have the pro here on my show with me. This is awesome.
Somebody said that theirs just came with the 15. You can still do everything at 15. It's just a little it's overkill. So you can use your 15 weight on everything, and you'll still have it. It'll still be good. It'll still be safe, but it's overkill. There's some things you don't need to go that high for.
Yeah, Thorhaven, we were talking about your Instapot and how you've been canning on it. So, very awesome, dude.
Yes. And if Dr. Pepper wants to sponsor me, I'm available.
But what? I got Mr. Pibb extra.
Oh, we're competitors. Although I did drink Mr. Pibb yesterday and it was really good, but the only place we can find it here is Fountain Pop. They don't sell it in the stores around here.
Oh.
It's a marketing thing.
Yeah. You know, for a while there, I really liked Mellow Yellow. Mm-hmm. You couldn't find that anywhere. Like it's distributed in Kentucky, I believe.
Do you know that they do not sell Mountain Dew in the entire city of Chicago?
Really?
Nope.
That's weird.
Yep. Especially when you drink Mountain Dew and you didn't bring any with you. Ask me how I know. That was a long weekend.
Yeah, Thorhaven, once you get used to the gauge on your pressure canner and you find the sweet spot in your stove, you could technically leave this. I wouldn't leave it for a long time because you can still listen to the wobbler when you leave the area. I wouldn't leave it all day or for the whole time. I would continue to check on it, but technically this is kind of a set it and forget it kind of thing, but you don't want to forget about it permanently. Yeah. You just you want to come back and keep looking. But I highly suggest if you're new to canning not to do that. You continue to watch it.
You need to stay. You don't have to physically watch it, but you need to stay in earshot when you have a wobbler or a jiggler that you can hear. As long as you can hear it, you'll know if it's okay. You can be tuned into it. So you can go over to the sink and you can do your cleanup. You can wipe down your tables. You can go in the next room if you can hear it and check on your child and then come back. You don't have to stand at the stove, but you do need to be able to hear it.
Yeah. Cameron had a question. He said, I have a stupid question, which there's no stupid questions here.
No.
Please ask as many questions as you can because I want you guys to be safe and I want you to follow the rules. Okay. So he said, doesn't using a higher pressure mean you cook whatever you are cooking for a shorter time?
Not in this case. No. What you want to do is to get the pressure inside the canner to the right volume, and so you're adjusting your pressure for your altitude. And so in this case, it's not the cook time is a separate time. At higher altitudes, you actually have to water bath for longer than some recipes. So if you're looking at a recipe, you need to make sure that it's correct for your altitude because you may actually have to cook it longer at higher altitudes. And so what we're doing here in the pressure canner with the pressure is adjusting for the altitude you are above sea level so that you get the correct amount of actual pressure in the canner.
Yeah, when Michelle from the Heathstead gave me this pressure canner, it was actually in February when she gave it to me. I was so happy. I never had one before. The ones that I do have, I bought at the flea market, so I didn't really trust them, and I never had used them. That was before I knew about the extension office thing. So when I got this, I was so excited, and I knew I wanted to start pressure canning on doing lives and stuff like that, but I hadn't done it yet. So then I messaged Tammy and asked her if she wanted to do this with me. She was all gung-ho because she loves the pressure can. So I'm super
I love,
grateful for everyone that's willing to help me do this. And I'm learning so much, and I hope you guys are learning too.
and I love teaching.
Well, I really appreciate it, Tammy.
Well, everybody that we teach then has the potential to be self-sustaining and self-sufficient. And I think those are two things that are very, very important for homesteaders. And the other thing is people who are on a low budget, canning is perfect for them because you can really save money canning.
Yep. I'll be right back, guys. I got to attend to my son. Just give me a minute.
Okay. We're just going to sit here. We're going to listen to her jiggler or wobbler, whichever you call it, depending on where you live in the United States. And we can just hear that going. And I can also see it still going consistently back and forth at a nice even pace. So, yes, like a hula dancer. That's probably a better description than my rattlesnake description. But I actually grew up in the South down by Florida, and as a child played with rattlesnakes, which was probably really bad and didn't work out very well for the neighbor boy, but he got bit. So it's something I can relate to. So if you have any questions, go ahead and ask them. I'll try to see what I can see in the chat. If I can't see it, I'll ask you to say it again. It's not letting me see everything in the chat, so I'm kind of seeing parts of things. Oh, good morning, Bob 942. I see someone saying hi to them. I have been canning for 49 years, close to 50 years. I started canning with my mother. I remember canning when I was 5 years old. Don't do the math, please. I only feel like I'm 21, but I think I'm more than that. One of my earliest childhood memories, I told this on the last one, is canning fish with my mom. Yes, that's right. 21 and still holding. Although now that my kids are in their 30s, I may have to, say I'm in my 30s and holding. My favorite things to can are still canned salmon and also canned tomatoes. If you eat tomatoes in the grocery store, they have a tin can taste. And I like canning my tomatoes in glass jars because the food tastes better. So that's another thing you'll find with canning food is it tastes better out of glass jars than it does from tin cans in the store. Yes, everybody give Courtney a thumbs up. Make sure that this video for Courtney has a thumbs up. I know she really will appreciate it when she comes back from checking on Fred. Hello. I didn't see who posted that, but hello. It's only giving me part of the chat, so bear with me. I'll try to comment on what I do see and pick up out of it. Yes, thumbs up. Oh, hi, Monticello sellers.
Okay, I walked away and I'm still at the same amount of pounds or pressure. Good.
We're just rocking on
Hey,
here with it.
Monticello sellers. Thank you for being here, guys. Appreciate you. Many of you guys don't know, I made the list for one of the top 10 Shed Wars people for the month of August. I'm on the Monticello Sellers website on the front page of it, along with everybody else that was in the Shed Wars that were one of the top 10 creators. So thank you so much for choosing me. Appreciate it. I love to grow, and I like to pressure can now. So this is going to be good. Next year, I'm going to be a pressure canning fool out of my garden.
Oh,
I can tell you that.
I can't. Next year. Oh, Courtney, no, we're going to be having you can all winter.
Okay.
Because there are so many things. You can be doing the beans in the winter, but you're going to find meat on sale. And I know you're going to be coming to me and saying, hey, I just found chicken on sale for 99 cents a pound. How do I put this in my canner?
Okay.
Yep.
I've never done meat, so I'm down for it. I wanted to do taco meat. Can I
It's
still
so
do that?
easy. So easy. And then you just open it up, heat it up in the frying pan, and you've got tacos as soon as everything else is chopped up.
Nice.
I made a dish last night. Oh my goodness. While we're here, I'm just going to talk about it. It was so good. Tortellini in a casserole dish. Make your tortellini, put it in the casserole dish. Canned Italian sausage that we had browned up, so we just put that over top that we had canned up, and then canned spaghetti sauce, covered it with cheese, baked it until the cheese was melted. Oh, I had it for breakfast. It was so good. I had leftovers for
That's
breakfast.
awesome.
I had never
Many,
done
many of you guys
tortellini.
don't. Many of you guys don't know. I've worked really, really hard at my channel. I'm close to 1,200 subscribers, which is a really big step for me. I've been working really hard. We have different things at night, the after party and stuff like that. And I got my Media Mondays where I shout people out. We're just, we're kind of a giant melting pot. We're not all farming community. I mean, he doesn't farm, and and Mojo doesn't farm. So, and Chatio, and there's a bunch of people that, that follow us, that hang out with us. We're not all of the same thing, but we all love each other and get along so well. And so we're just like a giant melting pot here at White Family Farm. You don't have to can, and you don't have to, have your own garden just to hang out with us. So. Thank you, Mojo. Yeah, that's true, Bob. Dude, this is so awesome. When I first started doing this, I was really worried about my stove because my stove offers this double boil option, and it gets things hot super fast, and then sometimes it gets so hot so fast you can't control the heat. And I was worried about that with my canner because I was like, crap, like what if I get it so hot that I can't bring it down, and like I thought it was going to have issues. But I found my sweet spot with it, and I just leave it at, now it's in between 1 and 2. It's like
Oh,
the in
you have a
between.
really hot stove.
Yeah, my stove is just weird. It goes hot. And so I have it in between. I'm running a little bit above 11 pounds of pressure, but I'm going to leave it right there. Like, I think that's good.
Yeah. And just a little above is fine. You just don't want it to drop down below for very long.
Yeah,
So
what
like
happens if it does drop below? You have to start all over, don't you?
you start your time from the beginning.
Yep.
Yep. So your 75 minutes would start or all over the whole time. You'd have to do the whole time. You can't, not just the time it was down, but the whole time.
At that point, like, don't you run a risk of? Do you run a risk of overcooking?
Yes, some things
Okay.
will get mushy. So you want to really be careful and make sure you keep it up because some things do get mushy.
It's good information to know, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me. Hopefully, my mother-in-law told me that she was going to buy me a stand-up freezer in the fall here. But what we have 2 refrigerators and a freezer out in the garage, and then my other freezer that was on my porch, it completely died.
Oh no.
So I don't have a whole lot of freezer space anymore, and so that's why canning here has become super important. Because I've been canning stuff or water bath canning stuff because I don't have room in my freezer anymore. So yeah, Hedgehog. I like to save freezer space too. So
Yes. And I just moved and I have not set up my freezer because I don't have electric at my spot. So canning is the only option I have right now.
yeah, Yosi, you're right. You're not. We still love you. We're so glad that you're a member of the Poop Troop, Yosi. We love you.
Yep.
We're so connected with everybody. That's one thing when I created this community, I so wanted to be connected with everybody and have friends. That's what this is about. It's about making friends and I'm just so grateful that we have 31 members of the Poop Troop now. We all talk to each other. We all hang out, no drama. It's just so much fun. And that's why I wanted to do that is I wanted to have a community where you can make friends and I'm really grateful for each and every one of you. I really am. So thank you so much.
I feel really lucky when I've found you and this group of people that surround you because it's just been amazing and it's really opened up my world. It was very, very tight circled around here, and now I feel like I have a global connection.
Well, you're an amazing person, Tammy, and your knowledge is so vast. So we're lucky to have you in our group and to share all that with us. And not only that, I consider you a good friend as well. So I consider myself a very lucky person to have you in my life.
Well, I feel lucky to have you and Dustin in my life. So, and I'm going to include him because I can't leave him out. He was my friend first. And I love the sound the jiggler makes. It's very calming to me.
Yeah, it is. I should actually record that for YouTube and do what do they call that? M something R or
ASMR.
ASMR.
I just did one. I just released one this morning I got some honey that I have bees, but I'm also in a 4-H group and we have honey that we sell, and I was helping her fill some jars that she has taken to somebody, and so I filmed her how we actually fill the honey jars from the big buckets that we've spun out. And so I did an ASMR of just honey pouring this morning.
Oh, nice.
It's food related. It counts.
Yeah, that's awesome. I tried to do a MSA. Wow, I can't even pronounce it. I tried to do that with like the rain here, and I tried to do it with my chickens because for me, the sound of my chickens and stuff is so relaxing. I never understood somebody that says they hate the sound of their rooster. I'm like, I don't get that. I'm like, I love that. So I
Yeah.
tried to record that kind of stuff because it's so cool. My roosters are so cool,
I was really busy this summer, but I tried to do little snippets of things that I enjoy. And then on Sundays, I try to release one video of me grilling with absolutely no talk. Just something we've cooked on the grill throughout the week. I find that really relaxing. I like to go back and watch those videos and just listen to the food cook.
Yeah. I like roosters too, Bob. Unfortunately, roosters don't lay eggs, but I have some of the coolest roosters, and they all get along, and they're not nasty. And Val is my favorite. I like Val. Val and Gerald are my favorite. But Valentino, I think he likes me. He always tends to flap his wings and stuff around me, and I think he's so cool. He's like the coolest rooster ever. And he's muddled. I plan on breeding that out of my lavenders because I didn't get pure lavender roosters, but my chicks are pure. So I want to breed that out, and hopefully I'll have purebred lavenders in the spring. But yeah, I just love those lavender Orpingtons. I think they're so beautiful. And Valentino, he's just, if I can get his personality in any one of those chicks, it's just, he's awesome. Yep.
And a good rooster is important. He protects the flock, and that cuts down on the work you have to do.
Yeah. Yeah, we have 17 people in here. Thank you so much for watching, guys.
Yes, thank you all for being here. I have a whole list of things. I went to the farmer's market yesterday, so I have a whole list of things I'm making this week.
Nice.
I'm hoping to get a few videos.
Cool.
But I picked up green beans for dilly beans. I picked up 3 kinds of chili peppers, cherry poppers, jalapenos, and cayenne. I have
nice.
different plans for each one of those. And I picked up some buckwheat honey at the farmer's market.
Oh, that stuff is so dark.
Oh, cool. I am a honey snob.
It's really good in baked beans.
I'm a honey snob. I like to have different flavored honeys on my shelf. It's not good enough to have just a flavor of honey. I like, and I think it's because my grandpa always had the different honeys.
Yeah. There's a honey place not too far from here, and they have like all the different flavors, like orange and blueberry and raspberry and the buckwheat and all that kind of stuff. And it's, it's all oh God, my brain is foggy. It's not preserved. Is that the word?
It's raw.
Raw. Yeah.
And raw honey is so good. The health benefits from raw honey, and to get it as local to you as possible is absolutely the best, because then the benefits, especially if you're taking it for allergy purposes, then the benefits are the highest the closer it is gathered by the bees to you.
Yep.
And I'm very lucky. I have a friend that is in our beekeeping club that I belong to. He just got national awards for his honey, for one of the best honeys in the United States.
I'm gonna go sit down for a second in the other room. Okay. Give me a second.
So I'm lucky. I've got some of his honey, and it is absolutely wonderful. The honey I'm going to use to cook with this week, I'm doing some things with, is actually wildflower honey.
I am hot. Baby.
I turned on the air conditioning. We have a one window unit, and it's in the living room, and I turned that on. So, whew, buddy.
Somebody just asked if all meat is pressure canner, and if you want to follow the USDA rules, you must use a pressure canner for meat.
Yep. I might just go to my local meat market and get hamburger, and I want to do this like once a month, maybe can.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I'll do it the next month, and I'll can hamburger, and I'll do like a taco thing. I also have a question with that because I wanted to can my own chili. But in the Ball Blue Book, it said not to use, because I use the McCormick chili seasoning. It says not to use any of that seasoning because if you do, they could have thickeners in it and it could mess with your chili. How should I use it? And if I can use it, like, I mean, that's the only way I make chili.
Sorry, I tried to hit the mute button, but
that's okay.
Everybody has a loud truck in this neighborhood, and they love to go by. And somebody would make a fortune selling mufflers on this street. I don't know why everybody with a big truck thinks it sounds better if it doesn't have a good muffler. But you can use your own blend of spices because then you know that they don't have. So you could get a recipe for chili seasoning and prepare that ahead, leaving out any flour or cornstarch. Those are the two ingredients that could be in the name brand store-bought. See how I left that name out?
I'm going to check. I don't have a chili packet on me, but I'm going to check to see if it has cornstarch or something in it.
Yeah, it's cornstarch and flour are the fillers they're worried about.
Okay. If not, I have cumin and stuff like that. I could probably make my own, but I always use the McCormick because I like it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And that's what you're used to. So that's what you expect it to taste like.
Exactly. What do you mean? Neighborhood can be so quiet until yeah, I have a neighbor across the street that gets loud. He has a vehicle and then he burns rubber. He has a motorcycle. I mean, there's just and sometimes it can be like, really, dude? But it's okay. And then I have kids that constantly go up and down the street on their gators. So that always makes, a noise. It's always like, and yeah. And then sometimes they run up and down the street with their four-wheelers and their dirt bikes and I don't have much traffic on this road, but it's a bunch of country kids doing their thing on the four-wheelers and stuff.
Well, I can't really complain because I'm just here borrowing the internet. So this is not my house, not my garage. It is my chair, but only because I gave it to her when I moved. I've moved off grid, and so I really love where I'm at now, but I kind of like that it doesn't have internet, but then it makes it hard to do these things. So I've come into town. I'm at my friend's house. I'm borrowing her backdrop and her internet. So I can't complain about her neighbors. They're not mine.
Whew. For those that won seeds on Wednesday, I was waiting for today to do this book. By the way, I need to write Heaven's Essentials name on there so I don't forget. I was waiting to give away this book so I didn't have to go to the post office more than once. So as soon as I do all that, I will go to the post office today. I will mail everything out, and you should be getting your seeds here within a week or so. Thank you for participating in the seed swap, guys, and I hope you really enjoy it. I did have one person that I'm not sure if they're still participating or not. It's kind of frustrating. I did email them, so I'm waiting on a response. If they don't respond to me in a couple of days, I have somebody that might not get seeds because they are being buttheads. So I'm going to have to send some seeds to the other person. But yeah, so I got books and seeds and everything to send out to everybody. So thank you for participating, guys. You're awesome. I can't believe I really did have a good outcome versus last year. Last year I had 5 people participate, and then this year I had 26. So I think next year it might even be even bigger. So, I plan on doing it next year, even though I had somebody that was a butthead this year. But I plan on doing it again next year. So save your seeds, or if you find sales, stuff like that, save your seeds. Find sales or whatever, so you can do a pretty cool seed swap in September of next year when we do that. So. Oh, well, thank you, Ginger. I appreciate that. I'll let you know for sure. I'm still waiting on a response. I'm not sure. But if they don't respond to me in the next couple days, I would assume that they're not going to do it. And at that point, then I'll let you know, and I'll have her exchange information with you, and then you can do that if you wish to do so. I told her no matter what, we'll make it right with her. Because that's not fair to do that to somebody. I mean, they participated in it, and then you participated in it and flaked out. That's not nice. So, it's hot. Yeah, we did a good job. The only problem is like, it's expensive to send overseas, and then you have to go through a customs thing. I don't even know what it all entails. I just know that it's super expensive. So that's why we didn't do anything with anybody overseas. And I feel bad because I have several people, Citizen Guardian, Cameron, they're from South Africa. And then I have Buttercup from Scotland. I have, Yosi from Israel. And I would love to do stuff like that with them. It's just so freaking expensive to send stuff, I'm just a small channel. I'm not making buku money here, So it's just hard. Maybe we can figure out something, or I need to get in touch with Redbubble to see if I can send t-shirts overseas and not have it cost so much either, because there is a list of countries that Redbubble will not send to. So that's another thing. I'm like, well, crap. Israel was not one of those countries. So maybe, I can do that for Yosi, or something like that. So we'll see. I know Canada is not too far away, but we still have a customs issue because they're a completely different country. Even though when you're in Canada, you still feel like you're in the US. It's so strange.
Except it's nicer. Except it's nicer there.
Yeah. It's so weird. Like when you're driving on the roads and stuff, it's just like, oh, but everything's in kilometers. As far as like the road and stuff, it's like, oh, that's a little weird. But other than that, I still feel like I'm in the US. It's so strange.
I just can't wait till I can get back across the border. It's just driving me crazy, because I used to take a couple trips a year up and visit family who are buried there. And I can't go do my cemetery, put my flowers on the cemetery for my grandparents and things because of the border being closed. That's so frustrating.
Yeah. There's an orphanage in Uganda that is about to plant their own gardens now. Awesome. I used to have a pen pal in Uganda. I used to write people all over the world. And I still have friends from all over the world, Taiwan and Hungary and Germany. And I had exchange students growing up, and they lived with me for a year and stuff like that. So I still write people all over the world and stuff like that. I used to have a pen pal in Uganda, but over the years she stopped writing. So, and in Africa things are a little bit different over there, so things might have changed in her country and stuff like that. So I don't know, but it was pretty neat. It was pretty neat writing people from all over the world.
Something blend, trying to find the right recipe.
I don't see it.
I can only see half the comments, so it's kind of maddening.
Yeah, plus doing it with other countries means that seeds could be seized at the border. Yeah, that's just frustrating. I don't see it. I don't see it either, Tammy.
Yeah, I can only get part. It's just different. I'm trying to read, and then I don't get all the whole thing. But there are some good spice blends recipes out there. If if you're looking for a chili seasoning or a taco seasoning.
Okay. Oh yeah, I didn't even think about the taco seasoning.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to figure that out. Yeah. Yeah, Redbubble is my place where I made my t-shirts. I tried to do Teespring. Teespring is like the go-to for everybody because you can create your t-shirt on there. However, when I got my Teespring t-shirts, the quality of them was horrible. In fact, the sleeves had holes in them. They weren't sewn right, or they were sewn, but there was still a hole there. There was just weird things with Teespring, and I didn't like the quality of their shirts. And I thought, well, if people are going to buy my stuff, that reflects on me too, because
yeah.
And what if they would get a shirt from me that says Wide Family Farm and there's a big hole in the sleeve? I'm like, I don't like that. So I searched around for a place that I could sell my t-shirts, and Redbubble was one of them, and I really liked it. However, they don't have the option of creating a t-shirt on there. Like, they don't have a t-shirt creator program on there. You have to create it first and then upload the image. Whereas Teespring, you could just choose from whatever they had and uploaded it. It was more convenient. However, with Redbubble, it's your own art. So you have to create it. And Viper helped me with that because he has Pro Tools and all that editing equipment on his computer. So I would like come up with the images, he would create them, send them back to me, and then I would upload them on Redbubble. So it was kind of like both of our efforts, doing it. And plus Viper's super cool. He's becoming like one of my best friends, and he didn't mind helping me. So yeah, so most of all of our images, like, we came up with it and he created it, and then we came up with it, he created it, and then it's on my page. So that's one thing with Redbubble. It's the quality of the shirts are awesome, and they have tumblers now too. I got a Poop Troop tumbler, and these things are awesome. This is not a sticker. This is like it's like in the tumbler, and it's just super cool. And I really like their products. They have hats now. You can buy shower curtains. You can buy mini skirts. They have it all on Redbubble, and you just have to come up with the image and upload it on their page. So it just gives you more artistic freedom, I guess you would say. So.
Oh, you didn't tell me about that. I'm going to have to go check those out.
Yeah, they have tumblers, and I have like 4 of them on there. One is Lord of the Gourd, the Uranus one with the planet on there, the Poop Troop, and I have a sunflower one. So if you're really not into the Poop Troop stuff or whatever, I have one that's like this beautiful sunflower that like takes up the entire tumbler. It's really pretty. I took that picture like a couple years ago, and Viper like edited it down, and then we could put it on the tumbler. So yeah, we have mini skirts that say Lord of the Gourd, Bob. So it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. Like, we're a goofy bunch. And so I have a Poop Troop mini skirt and a Lord of the Gourd mini skirt. I mean, it's funny. It's funny. If somebody buys that, and wears it, like, it would be freaking hilarious. Like, it'd be funny,
If I get my 4,000 watch hours, I'll put on a mini skirt.
Okay. That'd be hilarious. I don't know if the mini skirts are in your size, Bob. You have to check the site. Oh, well, thank you, Grillin' and Chillin' Mojo. We appreciate you. Thanks for coming along, and I hope we inspired you to can. Yeah, I had people help me with everything too, like mainly all of my members. They come up with some ideas, and we help. Like, the Uranus shirt was created on a live. So, everybody has input too, I don't, to keep my prices low, I don't make any money off my t-shirts, guys. I kept my margins so low. It has 0% margin. So I don't make any money, and the t-shirts I think are like $16, and then it's $5 or $6 for shipping and handling. So you're getting a t-shirt for like $21 or something like that. There are coupons and stuff out there too. You just have to look, type in Google and write coupons for Redbubble, and you can find like 20% off and stuff like that. And when you do that, you get the shirt for $13. And then like some of them, like I got some shirts for like $13, and then you just paid $5 or $6 for shipping and handling. So it keeps the t-shirts pretty cheap. So rainbow poop is awesome. Yeah, we have a good time. That's for sure.
I don't know who's making the kilt jokes, but I'm sitting here in Scotland, USA, and we have the Highland Festival every year, and every year it is rainy and windy. So we all know exactly what may or may not be underneath those kilts in this town.
Thanks for coming in, Cameron. We appreciate you. I realize the time is a little off for South Africa and stuff, so I appreciate you coming in. Do you sell popsicles? Oh, my Lord. Oh, Bob.
I'll be right back, Courtney.
Okay. I'm going to check the canner here in a minute just to make sure everything's okay. Yeah, when my husband wears a kilt, he usually wears like boxers under his kilt. Never once has he worn something that he like, or not worn anything at all. I don't think, he's worn boxers because typically we go to festivals, and under his kilt, he has to wear something, he doesn't want to, but it's always a joke. What's underneath your kilt? My husband is Scottish. His mom was, her last name was Sutherland. Take care, grilling and chilling. Commando kilting. Yeah, that's a little much.
So how did you check the canner while I was gone?
Nope, I'm going to though. I'll be right back, guys.
I think we still have a little bit of time left, but you can see that the jiggler's doing well back and forth.
We have 26 minutes left, guys.
Okay.
And I'll be right back as well. 1 second.
So, yes, scarves for the dogs would be a good thing. She'll have to have that suggested. I know some companies do make those. I'm going to have to check this out though. So 26 more minutes and we'll be able to take and let the canner depressurize before we take the beans out. And you'll get to see in the end of this live what the beans like when they come out. So Anybody have any good plans for this weekend on the holiday weekend? I am going to be canning my little heart out. Ooh, challah bread. Yummy. And salmon. I love salmon. Oh, you got to work. Well, I guess that's sad. I don't think I've ever heard of an armadillo rodeo. That sounds a little scary. Oh, a contest. That sounds like fun then. But, wash your hands after you handle those armadillos. I missed something about pints when dry. I missed the first part. Yeah, well, got to make a paycheck. So just kind of someone saying hi to Carol. Hi, fishes. There's Courtney back. You sound far away, Courtney. Yeah, she's coming back to the other computer. We'll be able to hear her better when she gets back here.
Sorry, guys. Can you hear me?
We can now.
Okay. I said I should have wrote in the subject title of this, canning with a 2.5-year-old in the background.
Hey, that's real life. That's real life.
Thank you all for coming. Whew. Hey, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And Denier, thank you so much for coming in and hanging out with us. I have Poop Troop scarves available, but it's not for dogs. It's for people. That's why I didn't put them on the website, because I didn't think anybody's going to want a poop emoji scarf. Like, I just thought, and they're not like normal scarves. It's not like hat and scarf. It's like a fashion scarf. Like, I just thought that was weird. Almost as weird as the mini skirts.
I'm not kidding. I'll put one of those mini skirts on if I get to my 4,000 watch hours.
Okay. Yeah, if you guys can, go over to Tammy's page and watch some of her stuff, because she really needs to get monetized. She has a ton of subscribers, but is not monetized yet.
It's my own fault. I didn't put out videos this summer because I've been so busy with the move, and I do summer camp for kids. I worked 7 weeks this summer, volunteer as a nurse for summer camp for kids. So
yeah,
I just didn't have time to do many videos.
Yeah, well, hopefully this winter I can do some lives with you as well, and we can get people watching your stuff. And we can get you monetized, like maybe in the spring. Like, we'll work on it and get you monetized in the spring, and then that way all summer you can work on your videos and stuff like that.
Well, that's the thing, is I'm not home in the summer. I volunteer. I do the camp for kids every year.
Oh, every year. Okay.
Yeah, I've done that every year for forever. So what I need to do is, I thought I had enough videos in the can to release as I went, and I didn't. So what I need to do is this winter push and make a lot of videos that I can then put out in the summer.
Yeah.
But I do appreciate everybody that watched my silly little shorts all summer that I put out that had nothing to do with my topic of my channel. But apparently 925 of you like trains more than you like canning.
Oh my God. I put out silly little shorts too. Sometimes, and I put out one. It was specifically my husband and I were coming home one day, and it was getting late, so we got a McDonald's dinner box. Right? Did you see that? And we asked because they always give you like a 10-piece nugget in there, and my husband and I share it with my son or whatever, and then we like try all the dips. Well, we asked them, I was like, well, just mix it up, put dips in there, but, just mix it up. We don't want anything specific. We just, because we kind of use it like, we all use it. We don't, not one person just eats the 10-piece. So we opened it up. There was hot cake syrup in there, strawberry jam, jelly jam, picante sauce. I mean, like we just had to mix up the sauces, and they gave us like all of McDonald's sauces, all of them. I'm surprised they didn't put in those little packets of butter. Like it was just weird.
Oh, I still need about 700 hours. Somebody thought I needed 4,000. No, I only need about 700. The problem is like my old video hours are falling off faster than I'm creating new hours. So that's the problem. And it's my fault. I didn't do videos.
Yeah, if you can, if you guys have another computer or something like that, if you can binge watch some of her stuff, that would be awesome. Or if you have a tablet and you can leave it on, or stuff like that, start binge watching, that will really help her hours.
I just go to all my friends' houses, and while I'm borrowing their internet, I put their YouTube on my channel and put it on the repeat. And then I just like my own stuff. I've been going house to house, but it's still not helping.
Nice.
Yeah. So. But we still have about 20 more minutes.
Yeah.
And then we have to let the canner depressurize.
I might not show the results. I might put the results in my community page and just take a picture of it because this is a really, really, really long time. Look at my dog. My dog. Hi, Ellie Mae. And then I got my eggs down there that I need to wash. This is nuts.
It's a farm kitchen.
Yeah, big time.
It's reality.
Yeah. I can't wait to remodel it, but we don't have the money to do it right now. But that orange floor and that 1940s countertop has got to go.
So my friend wants to redo her kitchen. She took me with her, and I bought a bar that's oak, and it's 3 cabinets, and it's got an oak top, and that's my kitchen counter right now.
Nice.
I got it at Goodwill. No, Habitat for Humanity for $75. It is absolutely gorgeous, and it's honey oak. Went to this cabinet maker here in town. He has this product, wood swamp maple. I'm in love. I may be having him build me cabinets, and it will be a little expensive. I only want baseboard cabinets. I don't want any above cabinets.
Yeah.
And I just want a pantry, the thing to go around my refrigerator, and a sink, a stove, and whatever I need in the other corner. And it's going to be at least $1,000.
Oh, well, actually, in the grand scheme of things, that's not really that bad. That's doable.
It's doable, but it's so gorgeous. So now I'm saving money. All my pop can money is going into my cabinet fund.
Aw.
So
That's awesome, Tammy. Good for you. I'm proud of you to do that. Not all the women out there can live off grid, so you're doing it. That's awesome.
It's fun. I can't wait. I got to get things set for this winter, but I'm really looking forward to this winter. So we'll see.
Yeah. Okay, Thorhaven, thank you so much for coming in and hanging out with us and watching me can kidney beans. Appreciate it. Yeah, you have orange trellis floor too. Yeah. The orange floor, it just sets things off in there, doesn't it? I don't know what my grandma was thinking. Orange floor and pink countertops. I guess, I don't know.
My mother put shag carpet, and then right under where the kitchen cabinets were in the kitchen, she put orange linoleum, oak cabinets with orange countertops.
Oh,
Thank you, 1990.
that's crazy. I think my camera just shut off because the battery went dead.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. That was weird. All right.
Went to sleep for a minute. It woke up.
Oh, you know what? It probably did. It probably did.
I don't know what it is about grout. In my new kitchen, I want solid countertops so there's no grout.
Yeah.
Grout. I had tile floors in my old house that I just sold. The terracotta with grout in the entranceways.
Yeah.
And there's people walk in with muddy feet, and the grout always looked dirty no matter how much I scrubbed it. It always looked bad.
Yeah. I understand that. I have grout in my bathroom, and it's the same way. I have those little tiles, and I can't stand that. I want no tile in my bathroom, like at all. I just want to.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. We're in the process of remodeling the bathroom. I already ordered my sink for it, but unfortunately now with everything going on in the world, my sink won't be there till November. Yeah. So we're just waiting for that, but we're not even going to put a bathtub in there. It's going to be a shower. Because I keep thinking, I'm like, how many times do we really take a bath? And we're getting older. I said, let's just order a shower that you can put a seat in.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what we're going to do. And my son, he doesn't even take baths. He showers. He loves to get squirted with the hose. So
there you go.
Yeah.
I'll give you an off-grid tip for that. If he does want a bath, just get him a big tote.
Oh, yeah.
One that fits in your shower. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, he would love that. But yeah, but for the most part, he just loves getting squirted with the hose. He's always got liked showers, you know? So I'm like, there's no point. Even when he was younger, I switched and he didn't fit in his little kid bathtub anymore. I got rid of it. And I said, well, you're just going to have to learn to like showers, kid. So he's liked it ever since. And when you go outside, he likes to get squirted with the hose. I mean, he really likes water. So.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to check real quick. Hopefully my camera doesn't die. It's going to be a minute before I can even open that, guys. That thing has to basically be all the way down before I can even open.
And if you try to open it before it's completely down and depressurized, then you're going to have siphoning. And we've already discussed siphoning is a bad thing.
Yeah. So I'm going to go out there. I'm going to check the time real quick. And at that point, once the time goes off, I'm just going to turn it off. I'm going to let it set until that thing goes down. At that point, guys, once that thing goes down, just be really careful. You can pull the lid off and you can pull everything out. Make sure you set it on a cloth on the counter. Do not set it directly on your counter, guys. You can break your glass. The counter top is enough coldness to where it could break your glass. So just put it on a towel and, then you're good. You just let them cool down and you can put them away once they cool down.
I'm getting dive bombed by a yellow jacket. So if you see me get up or wave my hands around, he wants my Dr. Pepper cherry over here and he can have it now. I put it over there for him.
Okay, Hedgehog. I will look into it. I'm waiting on a response. I'm going to give the people a chance to respond. If they don't, I messaged them on Instagram. I sent them an email. The other person has sent them an email. and there has been 0 responses. So I'm going to wait, give them a benefit of the doubt, and if at that point, if you know, they don't respond, then I can definitely replace you with them, and I'll tell it's actually Kaylin's strain. So she has tons of seeds that she wants to do. So I will definitely set her up with you guys, and I'll make it right with her, because that's not fair. So. Yeah, and Hedgehog will be getting seeds from me too, because she won seeds from me. So. All right, I'm going to go out there real quick. I'm going to check my canner.
Okay.
Oh, wrong button.
Sorry, that yellow jacket really likes me. He must not know I'm not as sweet as I seem, apparently. Wish he'd go back after my pop, but that's the hazards of being outside on a lovely day like today. It is the perfect weather here today. It's not too sunny. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. I think we're going to have a really good holiday weekend here. I can't wait to get out and work in the garden a little bit. I didn't do a vegetable garden this year, but I do have some fruit trees that I need to take care of. So, just watching Courtney. She's checking her canner there, seeing if her time, if she can shut it off.
It keeps muting me. Is it normal for it to kind of smell?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, we got 8 more minutes, guys.
Okay.
Thanks for sticking around. We still have a lot of people in here, 15 people actually, to be exact. So thank you so much.
That is awesome. Thank you, everyone, for still being here.
I still have more beans. I have to wash some jars, but I still have more beans, so I'm going to do that. I'll probably end up doing that later on tonight. But for the most part, yeah, once it cools down, the safety will come off, like it'll come down. And at that point, you're free to open the canner. And at that point, you'll probably want to open the lid away from you.
Yes.
So you don't get any of that steam. You can go ahead and pull them out. And like I said, you'll want to put them on a cloth on the counter, or like I'll put it on my other table I have set up.
And Courtney, before you take the lid off, once the pressure has come down to 0, completely to 0, then you will take your oven mitt and take your jiggler, your wobbler off first.
Okay.
And make sure that all the steam has been released. Don't try to take your lid off until you've taken the jiggler or the wobbler, whatever you want to call it, off first. Because there might still, even though your gauge says 0, you might still have some steam in there.
Okay.
And then open away so that any steam that is released doesn't come up and get you in the face. Women who can always have a beautiful complexion because we're always getting that steam bath on our faces. And men too, you know, the men can get that facial, that steam facial when they can.
Okay, guys. It's really not much more to it. If you have any questions, you can always email Tammy or I. And if you can't get a hold of Tammy, you can get a hold of me. I can get a hold of Tammy if I don't know the answer to the questions. Our email addresses and our links to our channels and stuff like that is in the description of this chat. If you have any other questions or anything like that, go ahead and feel free to email us. Did you have anything else that you wanted to say, Tammy?
No, that was it. I'm just glad that everybody came. And if you haven't started canning, you know, at least get into doing some water bath canning and get some of your own fruits and fruit juices put up, and pickles and jams and jellies. Get started doing some of that yourself. You'll be amazed at how much better you feel if you can and use your own food that doesn't have the additives and preservatives.
Yep. It's awesome. I think that's pretty much it, guys. I will post my results on the community page after, you know, everything cools off. I don't have time to just sit here and watch it, you know, cool down. I'd be here all day. But yeah, I really want to thank everybody for coming out and hanging out with us today. We had a lot of people in this chat, and it was awesome. This is just the beginning, and we have a lot more cool content coming up. And I really want to thank Tammy for helping me with this. It's awesome. So
anytime. I love it.
Yeah, it's great. But yeah, so if you guys don't have any other questions, we're going to go ahead and close the chat, and we will see you next Friday. I'm not going to be canning anything, but we'll just go over questions and answers and stuff like that. And you know, maybe even talk about future things that we might be doing on the show. All righty. Well, thank y'all, and you have a wonderful day. Enjoy canning.